everybody. This is the Alex Manassa, and we're going to continue with the Americhete. Now, I'm just not even going to play coy anymore. I'm just going to tell you what it is. I've got a gigantic machete. I've got one of those cold steel, like 24-inch, two-handed South African machetes. It's kind of ridiculous. I just wanted it. I don't actually need it for anything. I don't have a yard. I live in a townhouse. It's just sometimes there's a certain part inside of you that just wants to own a really giant sword or knife. Now, I thought, what can I do to make this thing useful? And what can I do that's really cool for this YouTube channel? So I can inspire you to create things, right? So I realized there's this thing called persistence of vision, and I am going to switch over. This time I'm going to remember to do it, all right? Not be a big old bozo head. Persistence of vision. All right, persistence of vision. If you move like a laser pointer or a light source around, you can draw things, right? Here's Wikipedia the rescue. Okay, maybe it's not to the rescue. That picture kind of sucked. Let's do images. Yeah, like if you take a long exposure and you show something moving around, you get a bit of persistence of vision, right? So here's a bicycle wheel. It's got LEDs on it, and it's making a pattern. Apparently, it's got a pick on it, pick microcontroller. That's cool. What I want to do is I want to put a bunch of really bright LEDs, and I want to put them on my machete in a line, right? And I'm going to turn them on in sequence. I'm going to see if I can make an American flag or any flag I want. South African flag, since it's a South African style machete. You know, whatever you want to do. If you can program it with software, then you can do whatever you want. These are pretty cool, but oh, look, there's this. That's neat. This is historical. Here, let me pull this up. Yeah, so zoetrope. I remember that. Yeah, this is an ancient like form of video. As you look through the slits here, you'll see the horse seeming to rock back and forth. You get the point, though. All right. So to make this persistence of vision thing work, I've already shopped for the LEDs. Now I need an LED driver. So what an LED driver does is it allows you to pump constant current through an LED and therefore get a constant brightness out of the LED. Okay? Because remember, the brightness, the number of photons, is proportional, roughly speaking, to the number of electrons that go through the semiconductor, go through the LED, right? To facilitate this, I've got this little circuit diagram right here. We have LED. Actually, I got a new stylus actually from my dentist today. I think it's better, oddly enough. We have LED 1, 2, and then there's some indeterminate number of LEDs in between 2, and then finally N, right? Where N is the number of LEDs. Okay? So if I had 30 LEDs in a string, this number would be 30. Realistically, I remember looking at the diagram for the LEDs. Actually, let me pull that data sheet back up. Remember, we're going to be looking back at a lot of data sheets. So here we go. I want to see the forward voltage based on the current, right? So here's forward voltage versus current. And now I can't draw on this thing. Well, I could, I guess, but forward voltage is about, if I'm drawing 1 amp, about 2.7, maybe 2.6 for the red. White, I really don't care about, but white is right around blue. The rest of these are about 3.9, 4 volts. Wait, no, 3.7. It's less than 3.75. Okay, I can't read a graph. Go figure. Okay. So about 3.75, maybe 3.8. Okay. All right, so I need to put 3.8 through each one of these, okay? I'm going to use, I'm kind of leaning towards using a DeWalt 20 volt battery to do this. That might be because I got a bunch of those laying around, but I'll see. 20 volt battery, so if I had a 20 volt, so VS equals 20 volts. V forward of an LED equals, what was it, 3.8 volts. Oh, here we go, 3.8 volts. Therefore, N equals, which is 20 divided by 3.8, which is, I'm terrible at math. I'm just going to say that right now. I mean, I could wave my hands and say 5, but I'm notorious for doing terrible calculations on the fly. All right, 5. And you get a little bit of headroom. It's about 5.2. About 5. And N is an integer. I can't have 0.2 LEDs on there. I can't just chop an LED into pieces. I wish that worked, but that is not how it works. All right, so I can have up to 5 LEDs with this arrangement given a 20-volt supply. All right, great. That kind of tells me that I need to... so if I want a 25 LED... but that's right. I need to control these individually. Oof. I could do a matrixed output. So, by the way, I'm doing this on the fly, which means that things are going to be a little messier than usual, but that's all right. That's what you're here for. You want to see me thinking. So if I say matrix, LED drive, right? This is a good way of getting a lot of LEDs with a few number of outputs. I'm just going to try and find a picture that doesn't look really complicated. Okay, mission failed. We'll give it again next to him, boys. Oh, Arrow, you're killing me. All right, so here's an example, right? You got 21, sorry. You've got Z1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So you got 10 pins out here, right? And from those 10 pins, apparently, you're able to get one. All right, so obviously there's 10 rows here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. So you're able to get 90 out of 10 outputs. I think with the persistence of vision system, my concern is that this will not be able to update fast enough. I could be wrong, but I don't want to over-optimize for channels right now. I think that would be a big mistake. That's kind of cool. Maybe I should look into that. I don't want to make a big mistake and overcomplicate this thing and try to over-optimize. You should make a system about as optimal as it needs to be and no more, right? So the worst case scenario for the number of drivers is that I would have each of these. So if I want absolute maximum flexibility, I would need to have each of these LEDs have its own driver. I don't know if that's really realistic, but if I do the quick math here, so number of LEDs, because remember, this is RGBs, and there is a white in there as well. Don't know if I'm going to use the white or not, but they're up to four LEDs per pixel. Okay. All right. And if I have 25 pixels, because it's a vertical 25 down, maybe the stylus isn't better than my old one. Okay. That means, therefore, use my old stylus. I'm still optimizing over here in terms of my setup. Therefore, 100 channels. Well, this is a little better. Okay, 100 channels. That's going to be some, this looks like charnels. I don't have 100 charnels. That's a lot of charnel pits. That's a lot of channels, but if I take a look at the worst case scenario, where I want to individually control the RGB and white of each of the 25 pixels, up to 100, so that was my cat. It scared the crap out of me. Let's check this cheaper one. Let's stay with Texas Instruments, see what we can get done. What I'm looking for here in these data sheets is I want to just know how is this microcontroller going to control the brightness here. That's a flexible range. That's good to know. Okay. Is that what's going on? On, off? So I'm PWMing it. Alright. This looks just like it. Yeah, so this is pretty much a linear regulator. Am I going to have to buy that many bloody... Oh, man. Alright, so this is going to have system costs. A 1 amp inductor is not cheap. Yeah, this could be a real problem. How about, what's a RGB LED driver circuit? We call this research, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, these driver circuits are crap. This is not what I want. Yeah, I don't want to. I want to control the brightness a little bit better than this. I mean, I guess if I'm just turning them on and off, I could probably get away with just using N-Mosfets. Am I overthinking this? Am I a big idiot? I might be overthinking this. I'm probably overthinking this. Okay, so here's my thoughts. So we've taken a look at this topology, right? Let's get this crap out of here. I'm going to call this idea number 1. Boop. Boop. I'm going to call this prop 1. Prop 1. The best. Okay. This is the best. Prop 2. Cheapo. And I always screw this up, right? I always screw this up. So let's have our... Oh, let me change. The annual retention is strong in use on. Alright, microcontroller. Alright, so this is our control of the microcontroller, right? This is going to be a PWM. This is going to go to... So there's V supply. Here's my LED. I mean, if I don't need to control the brightness that tightly, I can just take the LED and drive it. I didn't give myself a lot of room here. Actually, I'll tell you what I can do. Yes, please. Thank you. Recovering from screw-ups is a skill. So if it's an N channel, that means it's going to go in. I always screw this up. I never remember how to draw a MOSFET. All right, then here's coming out, and that's going to go to ground. And as a matter of fact, let's go ahead and just put a happy little resistor right there. There we go. Just taking the... Oh my gosh, that resistor's twisted. Twisted resistor. That's my name. My twisted sister. Cover band. There we go. That's looking more... That's adequate. That's more adequate. I'll say adequate. I'm gonna name this LED RLED. It's like someone from the medieval era. They're just named after their job. Smith, Hunter, Tanner, Miller. It's like, yeah, you're Miller, whatever. All right, so I got my N channel right here. I'm going to allow a certain amount of current. I could PWM it if I want, right? I could do that, I guess. But doing that 25 times seems like an insane thing. So I'm probably just going to turn these off and on. Yeah. Man, I always cheap the cheapo. I don't need these to be... I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I need to really modulate these, right? I don't think I do. I'm trying to think of any flag. Flags across the U.S. I mean, not the USA, but flags of the world. Yeah, make the Confederate flag. That'll get me a lot of friends. All the friends I get, I don't think they would like me very much. All right, so you got black, red, green, yellow. Okie dokie. What I'm looking for are just mixes. Okay, so you got the Bahamas. They got mixed colors, right? Because all of the primary and secondary colors are ones I can just do. I'm not doing... What is this? Britain? Thermopylae. I don't even know what this one is. That's weird. They got a freaking dragon on there. Orange is... Okay. Burkina Faso. But like red, white, and blue, those are just on or off pixels, okay? I don't need to do any like intermodulation. There's even for Germany, green, okay, black means it's off, right? I can't really make black. I can just make it transparent, unfortunately. You got green, So there's the green part of the RGB is on. There's the R, so that's the R part of the RGB. There's black, which is nothing is on. And then orange, which I think to make orange, I think that might be a mix, because to get yellow you have to do red and green. So that one might be a mixed. So making orange would be troublesome. But I don't care about orange. Like, what flags am I going to do, right? The USA right there, boom. That's, I don't know, what's another good one? South Africa? There's South Africa, that's kind of cool. Because it is a South African machete, so I can do that. Okay, yeah, maybe this will work. This is what happens. As an engineer, you're going to do a lot of work, and then you're going to realize that your whole idea was stupid, and you should have went to your requirements. That's my mistake. But we did learn a little bit about drivers. We did do a little bit of shopping. Now I know I just need an N-Mosfet, so let's just put a cap on this. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do, boop-a-doop, boop-a-doop, boop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doop, boop. N-Fet, MOSFET, do-do-do-do-do. I can do arrays. I don't really want to waste the time shopping. These N-Fets should be cheap, 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 cheap. So cheap. Okay, I'm going to stick a bunch of filters in at first, which is usually a big no-no, but yeah, come on, it's Fets. They called it, oh my gosh, 8 point. Oh my gosh. Look at this, 6 amps. Some serious juice, man. That's Juice World. Okay, this is highly unnecessary. All right, this is going to be easy cake. Easy cake. Yeah, let's just do 1 amp and up. I'm probably not going to do a full amp through this stuff. Oh boy, dude. So 1,900 amps. I'll tell you what, I'll do a sort. I want to see what that looks like. It's probably going to be the size of a doorknob. This is great. All right, let me see this ginormous, this just chonky one. Let me see the chonker. 3.6 amps. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. This is 40 cents. I haven't put my quantities in yet. Like, if you buy them in 10,000, that's 5.9 cents. So if I grab my trusty calculator, come on, drag, come on there. Oh, don't be so shy. I covered up my stuff I need to read. Awesome, that's smart. 10,000 times 0.05979. That's about $600, and you have yourself 10,000 MOSFETs. Think of all the things you could do with 10,000 MOSFETs. I mean, you could probably resell them later. I don't know. Depending on if trade with China gets shot again. I mean, definitely do that with ceramic capacitors, man. I could have made a killing. Do I really need any of this stuff? Current sensing, that's kind of neat. I mean, I'm not going to do it. I don't want to put the bandwidth into current sensing. Breakdown voltage. This is a VDSS, drain to source voltage. That's across. As my voice cracks. That's the voltage right here. That's VDSS. Drain sync. Oh wow. One of these days I'm going to get good at this. That'll be the day I'm really famous on YouTube. So this is the drain up here, the D. This is the S, the sync. Yeah. I don't really... All of these are acceptable. Like 8 volts is plenty. If I'm doing these single pixel at a time, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. I don't really have a lot to knock this down. Okay, yeah. You know what? Oh, I didn't sort it yet. Let me take a look at what this ludicrous chonky fets. Ooh. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, look at that. That's a chonky fet. What is that? What is that? That's only 690. What happened to the other ones? I thought we were going all the way up to 1900. What happened? Oh, okay. This probably wasn't in stock or something. Okay. That's right. But still, 690 amps. That's like for mains power. That goes to your apartment building. It's $20, baby. Here, this one's $1,300. Awesome. It's silicon carbide, no wonder. When you're absolutely desperate and you absolutely need the biggest drain to source voltage in the world, 1200 volts, silicon carbide will get you there, but it will charge you the fare and up. Metal oxide semiconductors a lot cheaper. But I digress. Let's do something a little more sane. Actually, I don't even care what the current rating is. I care about the price. Money, 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 money. Let's say I go with the maximum 100 pixels. Sorry, 100 LEDs. 4 LEDs per pixel, 25 pixels. 7 cents. They do not have adequate quantities of that one. Oh, look at this. This is a weird package. I don't know. I kind of dig it. Nexperia, USA. I mean, it's in the USA. Must be good. Right? Infineon. Oh, there we go. Okay, a little bit of home team advantage right there. Infineons. I could probably get these for free. 10 cents, quantities of 100. So we're talking $10. Is my math really, really bad? Come on. There we go. There you go. Some of you at home are like, this guy is a joke because he cannot multiply numbers. And apparently he doesn't know what a penny is in relation to a dollar. It's 0.105 times 100. Yeah, it's 10 bucks. Okay, now that is in my budget. That's like 1.2 Chipotle burritos. I can do that. You know, and it's really just one Chipotle burrito if you get the guac. I can deal with that. All right, cool. Sweet. I trust Infineon, good German company. You got German Americans right here going for the cheap. See, look, we could make stuff great in the United States. We make stuff great in the West. 1.4 amps, so I got a little bit of headroom. Max drive voltage, 4.5 or 10 volt. Why am I getting... Oh, max RDS on, min RDS on. Okay. 4.5. That could be a problem. That's right. None of these... All right, so none of these got above 3.8, though, so I should be okay. All right, so I'm putting together this picture here, right? VDSS has to be less than 4.5 volts. This guy right here is about approximately 3.8 volts. I swear I'll get good at this. All right, 3.8 volts. So you got 3.8 volts across the LED. You can have a maximum of 4.5 across the VDSS. Actually, we should be fine because we're draining most of that. So most of the voltage drop is going to be here at the LED, and then there's going to be some over at the R LED. All right, so you can tap in the same place. It's okay. That's the voltage drop across the LED. That's going to depend on the current. If I'm going for 1 amp of current, this is going to be interesting. I'm just going to put the current right there. This is ILED. Really, it's the current that's going to run through the entire circuit. It's going to run all the way down from here to there. Oh, wow. This thing cannot. Come on. I got to really press on this thing. So ILED equals VS minus, VS minus 3.8. That's the max. This is one case, right? Divided by R LED plus RDS. This is the resistance the FET actually has. Each FET actually has an internal resistance from the D to the S pin. According to this Infineon part, it's about 160 milliohms, so 0.16 ohms. Okay. And in fact, if I'm going to go symbolic, I might as well go fully symbolic on this notation. All right. gonna squeeze that L in. So if our VS do I want to go regulated or not? If I use that dual tool, well, actually, I already know what I want ILED to be. I want it to be 1 amp, but so let me just put a little green check to everything that I know. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little D here. That's desired. I haven't chosen this yet, but it'll be a desired amount. VLED is given. That's G for given. RLED is, that's the variable. That's the thing I'm choosing for. And RDS on is given. Right, it's in the data sheet. So VLED and RDS on are both in the data sheet. VS is going to depend on what voltage source I choose. So if it's a battery, it'll be 20 volts, which I think it's going to have to be. It's the only thing that's got enough juice to really keep this thing going. And RLED is going to be chosen to get me the ILED that I want. Okay, so on the right side over here, I'm gonna do a little arrow action, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say 1 amp. So now I'm plugging in values, and I'm gonna multiply actually by I'm gonna skip some algebraic steps. I'm just gonna pause it, try it on your own, make sure it works for you. But I've got RLED equals, okay, VS, I'll keep it symbolic for now, just for another little bit. There we go. VS minus VLED divided by ILED, and all that's, man, I ran out of space. Oh, you know what? This is a virtual whiteboard. I actually don't have to apply, I don't have to follow the laws of like physics of actual whiteboards. Minus RLED. Or sorry, minus RDS on. So I'm just going to call RDS. Ah, screw it. I'll call it on. Yeah. All right. So let's plug some values in. So I can totally do algebra in my head, but I cannot do simple math in my head. Go figure. Now that does not mean I did it right. So let's just try. I always like to try reversing it. So add RDS on to both sides. Okay, and then divide, and then switch out the RLED for and RDS on to ILED. Okay, got it. Okay, yep. All right, that checks out, I think. Okie dokie. So let's say that's 20 volts. 20 volts minus. It's going to be either 2.6. So depends on the color, right? Because the red was like 2.6 volts, and the blue, white, and green were like 3.8. So let's choose the 3.8 just because. Divide by 1 amp. Glad I chose 1 amp. It's easy to do the math on that one. Minus 0.16. Okay, cool. All right, so 0.16. That means RLED is going to be, once I plug this bad boy in, there we go, as I struggle with my own user interface. 20 volts minus 3.8 volts minus 0.16, 16. I want 16 ohms. Cool. I'm going to put the units in here, so I'm not a scrub. Only scrubs don't put their units in. So about 16 ohms. The RDS on makes almost no difference. It's like 2 orders of magnitude smaller than RLED, given the VS. So VS is like the biggest variable. If I change that changes the value quite a bit. So that's something to keep in mind. If I change the amount of current that I'm going to put through this thing, that also changes it quite a bit. I'm going to keep it at 1 amp. And this is just going to be flashed, so I think we'll be okay. I don't know. Maybe I'll find out that if I use this N-Mosfet and try to strobe it, I'll be in trouble. All right, there's one last thing I'm going to look for, and then I'm going to call it a day because it's been 45 minutes now. I need to see what the on time is. I need to see what this... I need to actually look at the thing's data sheet first off. Blip. Okie dokie. Oh, neat. It's a lot of pins for the source there. All right. Oh, sorry, drain. Bleh. Enhancement mode, avalanche rated qualified, so it's automotive qualified, so should be some level of quality to this thing. All right, so we're staying within the limits here, at least the continuous drain current, even if I get this thing up to 70C, which is cooking. Pulse drain current. Ooh, I can get some. If I pulse it, it gets really good. Okie dokie. Reverse diode breakdown is 6 kilovolts. So I should be kilovolts per microsecond. All right. DVDT. So we can take some reverse voltage. Okay. 20. All right. That's not going to be a problem. Oh, what is the gate activation voltage? Scheisse. I didn't take a look at that. That's important. Gate activation is... All right, so the way a MOSFET works, just really, really quick, is when my microcontroller puts a signal on this, if I give it a high signal, it will enable this to drain out, I think. I might have the polarity switch there, but if I give it a signal, it either lets this drain out or not, right? I don't think I need to have a reverse diode or anything like that. I think I should be able to turn it off and on. There's no inductive element to this. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, cool. But the voltage, the actual height of this signal right there, like what's the actual voltage right there? That's the V gate voltage. Okay, that's worth looking at too. I need to find that out. Should just say right on here. All right, here's VGS threshold. Ah, nice. Okay, cool. All right, good. It's like 2 volts. Awesome. Radical. All right, so my design isn't dead in its tracks just yet. It might be. By the way, I could shop for parts for hours, and I will. Over this course of the channel, I'm going to be shopping for parts for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. There'll be no shortage of the content. Okay, wait, I saw nanoseconds. By the way, sometimes I just look on the unit side and just see if I see the unit I'm looking for. Turn on delay time, 3.4 nanoseconds. I think that'll be fast enough. I think that'll be okay. 3.4 nanoseconds means 3.4 billionths of a second. Billions and billions of a second. Rise time is 2.3 nanoseconds. All right, we're looking at... Okay, this thing's going to be really fast. So if I did this whole thing together, that means I've got 3.4... If I added these together, 3.4, 2.3, so that's 5.7. 5.8 plus 5.7 is going to be 11.5. I don't trust the math of a man who got a concussion. And I was right. And I am that man. So 12.5 nanoseconds per pixel. That's the amount of depth. That's the amount of swoosh time I've got, right? So I would need to do some math of like what angle that is, but that's pretty quick. I think that's quick enough that I'm not going to have to worry about it. It is recommending I put a 6 ohm resistor on GS, and I'm also not giving it 10 volts. I'm only giving it a little bit. So these factors, these might change depending on the gate to source voltage I give it. So that's 15 volts is about right for VDD. But it'll be on the order of nanoseconds. Tens of nanoseconds, I think. So it'll be okay. Is there anything in here at all? Oh yeah, operating area. Like I could push it. I could really push it. So this is the current through it. And here's the voltage. Okay, so this tells you where it's... Okay, and then this is how long you can operate. So if you follow these curves... this is a log graph, so you just got to follow the lines, man. It's not going to... Looking at it isn't going to tell you very much. I mean, it kind of gives you a little bit of a shape, but you could prove anything on a log graph. I wouldn't... You really got to get in there and actually look at it in detail. I don't feel like it right now. I'll look at it later. Okay. Forward transconductance. Forward, okay. Typical capacitances. Capacitiveness. Capacitivity. Is there nothing on time? Gate charge waveform. Okay. Gate charge. Oh, here. Oh, it was Microsoft. Never mind. Avalanche characteristics. Not what I want. Okay. So I don't see any relationship in these graphs of time versus. Sorry. It's time for the Timcast IRL. Yeah, I don't see any relationship between the amount of turn on time, so I don't think timing is going to be a huge issue. I don't think. I'm going to do some math in the background and determine that for sure. But honestly, these N-channel FETs are so cheap. I think I'll be okay. They're also a nice SOT package, it looks like. What was that, SOT 363? Sure. 3,000 pieces per reel. Yep. Okay, cool. I think we... Wait, it says obsolete right here. I don't really want that. No wonder they're so cheap. Do I care? I'm going to decide if I care or not. I'm going to do that on my own time. All right. Thanks for joining me. This is fun. Just been sort of designing out loud. DOL. And I will see you guys next time. Want to watch an engineer work as if I'm sitting in a fish tank? Well, then subscribe to the channel. And then like the smash button down below. Enjoy. Have a good day. And I will see you guys later.